We've got the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, the plug-in hybrid.
This is the Grand Cherokee to get. Ooh, we got it all going on.
Yep.
The gas and the electric.
Ooh, I like it.
For maximum power. So this is the 4xe. What the heck does that mean? What's under the hood?
A 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 2 electric motors delivering 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. It has an 8-speed automatic transmission with a 17 kilowatt-hour battery. It gets 42 kilometers, 25 miles of EV range, standard all-wheel drive.
So Stellantis, formerly Chrysler, looks at the Grand Cherokee as a premium luxury vehicle. Let's get the key standard features of this 4xe.
The base trim comes with a 10.25-inch digital driver display and front passenger screen, a 10.1-inch touchscreen with Uconnect 5, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a wireless charger, a 360 surround view camera, an integrated off-road camera, a 9-speaker Alpine audio system, a heated steering wheel, leather and suede upholstery, ventilated front seats, heated front and rear seats, power front seats with driver's seat memory, and a panoramic sunroof. In the US, not all these features are standard, but are available in different packages and standard on higher trims.
There are so many different modes: rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, sport. What the heck are we going to put it in?
Got to put it in S for subscribe. And if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure you like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram. It's Motormouth_Andrea to see what's going on behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_Auto, and the links are below the like button. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.
We've got the Trailhawk model, which is only now available on the 4xe. You can no longer get the Trailhawk on the gas model. It is the most capable Grand Cherokee available. And it comes with Quadra-Lift air suspension, as well as Quadra Drive 2 with electronic limited slip differential 4-wheel drive system, and a front disconnecting sway bar. Now, the first two features are standard as well on the Summit and Summit Reserve models.
Okay, let's unpack that a little bit. Air suspension is what you use if you're going off-road, or maybe you have to traverse some deep snow. You can raise and lower the vehicle. It's also handy for loading things in the back. So I'm showing you pictures of it going up and it going down. That's not actual speed. I've sped it up just a little bit for you. And the sway bar disconnect lets the front wheels articulate more. This is incredibly important if you're doing off-roading. I doubt many people in a Grand Cherokee are going to go off-roading, but if you did, you have much more wheel articulation, which is important for going over rocks.
The Grand Cherokee gets up to 10.9 inches of ground clearance and 24 inches of water fording.
So that's why Stellantis looks at this as a real premium luxury vehicle, because if you want to get this type of capability in another brand, you're looking really at Land Rover and Range Rover.
And we went through those key standard features. The base trim gets a ton. But you know what? This Trailhawk model with those extra features for only $360 extra in Canada is kind of a no-brainer of a trim to get. In the US, it's a little bit different, just over $5,000.
Okay, that's a big difference.
Let's talk about the range. It is a plug-in hybrid, 42 kilometers, 25 miles of EV range, not a lot. I mean, I would say this is definitely going to be for somebody if you do want a clean drive every day who doesn't drive a lot, and that you can go back and forth to the house and plug it in.
It's going to be the most efficient if you're doing short trips.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to do is say, here's my baseline fuel economy. I'm going to average that down by using electricity some of the time.
And In Jeep's defense, most plug-in hybrids in the luxury category are not only expensive, but they don't offer a lot of EV range. There is a slight exception for range, and it's the Volvo XC60 Recharge with 58 kilometers, 35 miles. That's not too bad, and the price is a little bit less, but once you start adding packages, you're up at this price.
Yeah, but it's not the same size as this. It doesn't have the same capability as this, and that's the thing. Is when luxury brands make them luxury products, they make them heavier, which affects the fuel economy.
Now, I like how this drives. It handles really well. The steering is heavier. The suspension is firmer. You don't feel like you're eating up all those bumps in the road, but I don't mind that. I like that it handles this way. It's quite unique for a plug-in hybrid.
So this is the 4xe. It kind of has a rugged attitude. We like this kind of drive in an SUV. You feel connected to the road. One thing they've done though with the 4xe is they've come standard with an 18-inch wheel, and that gets you a bigger sidewall. It has quite a bit of cushion with those bigger tires, and this is something that a lot of brands are moving towards. Smaller wheel, bigger tire.
I really like the way that this looks. I'm impressed with Jeep and this new Grand Cherokee model. It's bold, it's rugged, yet it still has a real sophisticated look to it. As Zach said, it comes standard with 18-inch wheels, but you can get 20 and 21-inch.
I like the look of this. It's quite a bit bigger than the old model. Like, they really made this bigger, but it's on a new platform. So it actually feels a little bit more dynamic. The old model was quite heavy feeling. This one, you know, it does have heavy steering, but you can maneuver it around quite nicely.
This comes standard with LED headlamps, LED tail lamps, fog lights, chrome exterior accents, but you can get black and you can get platinum chrome as well, and there's some appearance packages that you can add to any model to make it your own, and also a two-tone roof is available too.
So this one also has the blue tow hooks to make it look a little different. Andrea, to be honest with you, if I was going to get a Grand Cherokee and I really like this product, this is pretty much how I would get it. I may get a different color on the outside, but this is the model I would get.
Yeah, same. Trailhawk is your best value trim within this 4xe model. The interior is beautiful. All of these screens come standard. Coming up in Questions, Coffee, and Cars, we're going to talk more about the infotainment system and Uconnect 5.
We've driven the Grand Cherokee, the long wheelbase one, and the regular gasoline model, and now we're in this 4xe, and they all suffer from the same investment in shiny hard plastic. They use a lot of piano black, especially in the center console. But you know what? Overall, pleasing, and it looks upscale because it isn't cheap.
I do find that there is quite a bit of hard plastic, but it's all below the center console for the most part. The piano black on the door panels has kind of a pattern in it. It looks more gray to me. I mean, I think it looks better than just piano black. Overall, they do use quite a bit of it.
The one thing I really like is they put all of these hotkeys right above the radio there. So things like lane keep assist, which is what I hate because it's always tugging at the wheel. I just hit a button, Andrea, and it's off. So some things are really quickly accessible.
And I also think the center console is well organized. You've got your dial shifter. To the left of the steering wheel is where you'll find your hybrid mode, your e-save, or your pure EV mode. So it's very easy to get to. I do have to say that I don't find the seats that comfortable. They're quite firm. I said the same thing in the Grand Cherokee gas model, and it's the same in this 4xe. If you do want a few extra luxuries like the 19-speaker Macintosh sound system, ventilated rear seats, Napa leather, Palermo leather, as well as maybe some wood trim if you choose to have that look, you can get those on the higher trims. Compared to the BMW X5 45e or the Volvo XC60 Recharge, they all offer about the same front row legroom. Second row legroom, it's this Jeep that has more space than the X5, almost an inch more legroom, and the XC60 is about the same.
And then you lift the tailgate, and it's got an enormous amount of space, so a lot of room behind the second row seats. And when you lift the floor, would you look at that? That is a beauty. It's not a hideaway tire. It's not a tire repair kit. It's a real tire and a wheel already mounted and inflated. That's what I want in an off-road vehicle.
Compared to the X5 and the XC60, it's the Jeep that offers the most space behind the second row. Overall cargo capacity goes to the X5. I want to throw one more in, the Santa Fe non-luxury category. It has more front and second row legroom than this.
Really?
Yes. Overall cargo space is about the same as this Grand Cherokee.
I'm surprised about that. I'm really surprised about that.
It's a big vehicle, that Santa Fe.
I like
think
this
sometimes
better.
people forget. And remember,
I'm getting ahead of you, Andrea. I'm drinking the coffee.
A 3-row SUV, and now it's down to a 5-passenger.
All right, we're talking about the Grand Cherokee here, and you've got questions. Let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Wow, I love the look of this new generation of Grand Cherokee 4xe. I'm wondering how snappy, responsive, and intuitive the infotainment system is. Still some issues with the air suspension? Question mark.
I don't know about the air suspension. I know a lot of people are weird about air suspension. Air suspension has proven to be very reliable.
Yeah.
You know, they don't make their own air suspension. They buy it from a supplier. We have a car with air suspension. It is more advanced and things can go wrong with it, but they for the most part, and you can rebuild them. That's the nice thing about air suspension.
And we've had no issues with this one while we've had it, and we've had no issues with our vehicle either. So
what did you want to know?
I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Snappy what?
Infotainment. This one is good. It's Uconnect 5. I like Uconnect 5. I like the Jeep infotainment system. What about you?
Well, I think that the domestic brands, we talk about this all the time, whether it's General Motors, Ford, or Stellantis, actually have some of the easiest to use and to connect with infotainment systems in the business. A lot of luxury brands could use this technologies. And I actually, when I picked this vehicle up, I asked the service manager from the dealer, I said, how have these things been? He said, pretty much the biggest returns we get are software updates.
Definitely looking forward to the review. I'm sure this is quite the heavy beast. Did you find it had enough power in either pure EV and hybrid modes? I did. I found that the power was sufficient. Passing power was quite good on the highway. I mean, when you have it in pure EV mode and then you need that extra power from the gas engine, it's going to kick in. You know, it's going to go to a more hybrid mode. But I thought overall, for such a big vehicle, it was good.
So even though the pure EV range, as Andrea mentioned, will end, there's still juice in the battery for those times when you really need it, and it gives you that blast of power. And this is on par with what you would get with the V8 model.
Yeah, and I did notice in the Wrangler 4xe that it did feel a little bit sluggish, but it's the same powertrain.
I didn't love it I didn't love the Wrangler, but I
know.
really think they've figured this out.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just so you know, if you drive it in pure EV mode or you have it in e-save where you want to save the range for later, when you shut the vehicle off and you turn it back on, it goes to hybrid mode. So check that if you had it in one mode and you want to make that change. We put out a lot of content each week on the Motormouth YouTube channel, and it's super easy to find.
All you do is go to the YouTube search bar and type in Motormouth. That's the name of the channel, then the brand you're looking for. In this case, it's Jeep, and then all our videos pop up. It's that easy.
Is that suede in the middle of the seat? It sure is. It comes standard with leather and suede. This is also leather and suede, but in a different color. So I love the suede in here. Some people say, I hate suede. It's never going to age well. Can I say one thing?
It's not real suede.
No. It's Alcantara.
It's Alcantara.
But I want to say that we have a vehicle with
air suspension.
Yeah. And I mean, props to Zach because he's kept it looking brand new, really. So give us some tips on how to keep Alcantara looking good.
Well, there's some great products. Sonax is a reputable German cleaning company. They have all kinds of products for detailing, and you just buy their Alcantara cleaner. The reality is Alcantara looks great for years. I wouldn't worry about it. But whenever Andrea drives in our car that has the Alcantara and leather, I always comment, see how nice and cozy the seats are on a cold day? Because heated seats and cloth together, that's a winning combo, man.
And these seats, the combo of leather and Alcantara, are actually standard on the base model. But if you are interested in Nappa leather or Palermo leather, then you can go up to some of the higher trims and they come standard on those.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
I feel Jeep charges a lot for what they offer in their vehicles, especially with being plastic fantastic. Is this also overpriced compared to other EVs?
I really truly believe you have to compare this to other premium EVs or plug-in hybrids. And when you do that, it's not like there's value. This is an expensive product, but it's not as expensive as some other plug-ins that are luxury.
And I think that's the key. Is this a premium or luxury brand, or is it a non-luxury? Some people look at Jeep as premium luxury, others not so much.
Well, do you know who looks at it that way? Jeep.
Yes, you can tell by the pricing. Let's start with the BMW X5 45e. Its price, we're going to use Canadian numbers just to simplify things. It's $83,500.
So that's a 13 grand more, basically.
You know, that's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Audi Q5e, which offers less range than this, is priced...
And in the compact class, yeah.
Yes, is priced at just over $76,000. So, once again, more than this. Then we've got the Lexus 450h, which we don't have pricing for yet, but that is definitely one to look out for. And then you've got the Santa Fe, which falls into the non-luxury category, and it's just under $48,000. Offers a little bit more range than this as well.
You know what, I always used to think, you know, Jeep was kind of cheeky with their pricing, but they sell these things incredibly well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the market also believes that this is a premium product. They're willing to buy these at elevated prices because they obviously see some value in these.
Yeah.
Just look at how many Jeep Grand Cherokees are on the road.
That's right. And I also want to add one more. The XC60 recharges under $65,000 to start, which is a great price. But if you drill a little bit deeper, you're going to have to add a package to that trim. And then it really does get up to this 4xe base trim with all of these features.
The other thing is that is also in the compact class. This is a midsize.
Yep. So I would say that this is actually priced well. Don't get me wrong. Plug-in hybrids are more expensive than some pure electric vehicles, but some are not ready to go with a pure EV. They've got range anxiety and they like this plug-in option.
So you probably want to know some key things like, what's the warranty like? What is the charging time and towing capacity? All of that in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. The 4xe starts at just over $78,500 in Canada, and the top Summit Reserve is just over $92,500. In the US, the base trim starts at just over $60,000, and the top Summit Reserve is just over $77,500.
This PHEV earns a combined highway and city rating of 4.2 liters equivalent per 100 kilometers. That's 56 miles per gallon equivalent. When the battery is depleted, the fuel economy is 10 liters per 100 kilometers combined. That's 23 miles per gallon combined. With a level 1 charger, you can charge this 4xe in about 12 hours. On a level 2 charger, as little as 2 hours. This 4xe is not compatible with a DC fast charger.
The 4xe does not qualify for the Canadian federal rebate of $5,000 as it's priced too high. However, it does qualify for a tax credit up to $7,500 in the US. The 4xe can tow up to 6,000 pounds, and Jeep offers a warranty of 3 years or 60,000 kilometers, 36,000 miles. In the US, 3 years of complimentary scheduled service is included.
Right now we're going to get into our lightning round. 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
Well, I really like the way that this handles.
I just love the way the Grand Cherokee looks.
What I'd like to see less of in this price range is hard plastic in the interior.
I would like for them to come out with maybe a more budget-friendly version. I mean, $70,000 to start, that's a lot of money.
I've always had a soft spot for the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and this one is no exception.
I think I'd actually get this Trailhawk. This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code Motormouth to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below.